Are you Emma Swan?
Yeah, who are you?
My name's Henry. I'm your son.
Anyway, hello everyone, and welcome back to another review episode. In this episode, I'm changing up the genre into fantasy and reviewing Once Upon a Time. Spoiler effect is in effect right now, so if you haven't seen the show, please do watch the show, but if you're still watching it, thank you for watching. Emma Swan, portrayed by Jennifer Morrison, is taken to a mysterious town called Storybrooke by her son Henry, portrayed by Jared S. Gilmore, who she puts for adoption when he was born. While at Storybrooke, Emma learns who her family was and are, and learns the truth about all the fairy tale stories she read as a child is true. Top seasons. Number 7, Season 2. After the first dark curse is broken, all the citizens of Storybrooke revolt against Regina, also known as the Evil Queen, portrayed by Lana Perot. As Emma and Mary, aka Snow White, portrayed by Jennifer Goodwin, gets transported to the fairy tale world, David, aka Prince Charming, portrayed by Josh Dallas, and Regina have to team up to keep the city in check. When Emma and Mary find their way back to Storybrooke, they are faced with another problem where an outsider crashes his car to Storybrooke. Number 6. Season 6. As Emma's story comes to an end, her final trial arrives. As Emma and her family learn how all the saviors die in the end, they become desperate to break that cycle. As the season explores the consequence of being the savior, the show introduces the land of Agrabah, the ship Nemo, and many others. Number 5. Season 1. After Henry tracks Emma down, Emma is brought to a mysterious town known as Storybrooke. As Emma plays around with Henry's delusion on each character of Storybrooke being a fairy tale character, as Emma and Henry try to give each member of the Storybrooke a happy ending by Emma being the sheriff of Storybrooke, Emma starts to doubt Henry, but by the end she starts to believe Henry to the fullest and breaks the curse. Number 4. Season 7. As the chapter of Emma Swan finishes, the chapter of Henry Mills starts. In the final season, an older Henry, portrayed by Andrew J. West, has lost all his memories of Storybrooke, and the only thing that remains is a book. As Lucy, portrayed by Alison Fernandez, Henry's daughter, tries to do what Henry did for Emma in the first season, Lucy and Henry tries to save the town from Belfry in Hyperion Heights. Number 3. Season 5. As Emma gets embedded in the dark As Emma's friends track her down, they are granted asylum at Camelot. As they realize King Arthur, portrayed by Liam Gallagher, is after the Dark One's dagger to complete his sword Excalibur, so they seek the help of Merlin, portrayed by Elliot Knight, before King Arthur takes it away. As the season continues, Emma and her friends travel to the underworld to rescue Hook, portrayed by Colin O'Donoghue. As they try to rescue Hook, Hades, portrayed by Greg German, uses his power over the underworld and tries to stop them from spreading hope over the underworld. Number 2. Season 4. As the citizens of Storybrooke recover from the aftermath of Zelena, portrayed by Rebecca Matters Curse, the town is hit with ice magic, as the entire Storybrooke becomes walled up by ice. As Emma and her friends team up with Elsa, portrayed by Georgina Haig, to figure out how to take down the ice and to find Anna, portrayed by Elizabeth Leo, they are able to find a way to take down the ice. Meanwhile, Rumpel, portrayed by Robert Carlyle, devises a plan which could cure him from the Dark One, but as this plan takes a lot of sacrifice, the relationship between Rumpel might be shattered. Number 1. Season 3. As Emma and her friends and family travel to Neverland to save Henry from Peter Pan, portrayed by Robbie Kay, they must team up with Hook to do so. As the viewer learns the relationship between Rumpel and Peter Pan, the show creates the darkest version of Peter Pan, as the Peter Pan outsmarts Emma and her friends and sends all of the citizens of Storybrooke back to the fairy tale land. They are faced with another threat, Zelena. As they feel like there is no choice but to cast the dark spell again, Storybrooke returns and Hook brings Emma and Henry back to Storybrooke to stop Zelena. Top 10 episodes. Number 10. Save Henry, Season 3, Episode 9. As Henry gives his heart to Peter Pan, the team becomes desperate to get his heart back before he dies. As Emma is able to turn some of the Lost Boys on their side and get Henry's heart back, this episode also explores why and how Regina was able to adopt Henry and how much she cares for him. Number 9. A Land Without Magic, Season 1, Episode 22. As Henry takes a bite from the poisonous apple pie that Regina made for Emma, Emma has to face the reality that magic is real. As Emma and Regina seeks Gold aka Rumple's help to cure Henry's sleeping curse, Emma is forced to face Maleficent's dragon form. As Emma defeats the dragon, she is betrayed by Rumple, but she arrives on time to deliver a true love kiss on Henry, which breaks the sleeping curse, but also the dark curse. Meanwhile, Rumple reunites with Belle, portrayed by Emily de Ravine, and brings magic to Storybook. Number 8. Smash the Mirror, Season 4, Episode 8 and 9. As Emma's power becomes uncontrollable, the entire town starts to fear her. As Emma accidentally attacks Henry, for the safety of Storybook, they devise a plan to stop Emma. Meanwhile, Emma seeks Rumple's help to get rid of her magic, but as Rumple has different plans, he tries to trick Emma into being sucked into the Merlin's hat. Elsa derails his plan by helping Emma control her magic, leaving Rumple with nothing. As the episode ends, the Snow Queen, portrayed by Elizabeth Mitchell, is able to enact their plan, and Rumple finally makes the deal with her. Number 7. The Final Battle, Season 6, Episode 21 and 22. As the Black Fairy, portrayed by Jamie Murray's spell comes into action, storybooks turn into the old storybooks from Season 1, but with the Black Fairy being the mayor. As Emma starts to stop believing in the idea of fairy tales, the land of fairy tales starts to disintegrate, which leaves Henry no choice but to face the Black Fairy alone. As Emma starts to believe in Henry's story, the final battle against Gideon, portrayed by Giles Matthews, starts, which ends with Rumple and Belle resetting his timeline by getting him back as a baby. As the episode ends, the show teases on what's to come in Season 7, with Lucy arriving at Henry's doorstep. Number 6. Pilot, Season 1, Episode 1. As Emma is brought to storybooks by Henry, she decides to stay over and watch over him. As Emma meets many people from Storybook, she learns Henry believes people in storybooks are from fairy tale characters. As people of storybooks finally feel like there will be a change after Emma arrives, the clock in the center of the town starts to move. Number 5. Last Rite, Season 5, Episode 21. As Emma and her friends find their way back to Storybook, Robin Hood, portrayed by Sean McGeary's daughter, is kidnapped by Zelena and Hades. As Robin Hood and Regina try to rescue her, Robin Hood makes the ultimate sacrifice to save his daughter. As Zelena chooses Regina over Hades, she kills Hades. Meanwhile, in the underworld, Hook and King Arthur team up to help Emma kill Hades, which allows Hook to be revived back by Zeus. Number 4. Operation Mongoose, Season 4, Episode 21 and 22. As Isaac, portrayed by Patrick Fisher, rewrites the fairy tale story into which the villain becomes the hero and hero becomes the villain, as Henry travels into that world, Henry discovers the true length of damage Isaac did. As Henry finds Emma, they are able to break the story by Henry rewriting reality back. Number 3. Leaving Storybook, Season 7, Episode 22. In the series finale of Once Upon a Time, the team must find a way to stop the wish from Rumpelstiltskin. Robin, portrayed by Tara Scosby, and Alice, portrayed by Rose Reynolds, return to Storybook and seek help, which allows Zelena, Snow, and David to return and aid the team. As the team devises a plan to rid the wish from Rumpelstiltskin, the real Rumple sacrifices himself to save Hook and stop his counterpart. As Rumple reunites with Belle in the afterlife, Regina casts the final dark curse as she unites all the kingdoms of fairy tales and is crowned the Queen of Storybook. Number 2. The Song in Your Heart, Season 6, Episode 20. As the show finally does a musical episode, as it is a fairy tale story, the episode explores Hook and Emma's wedding. As the Black Fairy curse is about to be released, Emma loses all hope after all her friends and family are captured. But as Henry shows how the love of her family was always imbued in her with the power of music, she is able to stand up to the Black Fairy until her curse is released. As Emma and Hook get married with a musical number, the episode ends with the curse being released. And now here are some honorable mentions. Number 1. Is This Henry Mills, Season 7, Episode 20. as the show brings back young Henry and explores how he got the magic bean to travel into the Wish Realm. The older Henry decides to leave Hyperion Heights after Regina and Lucy ambush him. As older Henry tries to figure out how Regina knew him as a child, he calls the number on the adoption phone number, which young Henry picks up. As Henry starts to remember all his adventure as a child, he breaks the curse by giving a true love kiss on Regina's forehead. As everyone in Hyperion Heights remembers their other life, they are able to beat Gothel, portrayed by Emma Booth, but with the Wish Realm Rumpel being released. Once Upon a Time connects all the fairy tale stories into one TV show with the spins on the story. As the show explores how people can change into good, the show also explores the importance of family and what it means to be a family. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next Monday for another review episode.